All right, I'm teaching the same course that Tasha teaches, EN 102. So it has the same goals in the sense that students are meant to develop rhetorical awareness, language awareness, and produce certain written products, one of which is a researched annotated bibliography and essay. But I'm not going to talk about that part. You want to see the slide also. The thematic focus and the experiential focus of the course is meditation. So in addition to meeting the requirements for EN 102, the class has been designed with a focus on meditation in order to promote creativity in writing, metacognitive awareness, effective problem solving, and effective communication. And I did a pilot of this last semester, so I have a little bit of information from students, their responses, and my own experience in teaching it so that I could myself problem solve. So the most important learning outcomes are increased self-awareness. So they develop through the process of meditation and mindfulness and through journaling and doing different activities and through writing their essays. Basically, awareness of their physical sensations in relation to their thought patterns, their emotional responses, their reactivity, their interactions with the world and people in their lives. So then what has happened, which I actually didn't know would happen, is that students identify problems by the end of the semester as more internal than external. So in the beginning of the semester, I give them a formative assessment and have them identify it and describe a problem and how they're trying to solve it. And many times the problem is out there. It's someone else is doing this to me. I have money issues, I need this and it's not happening for me. I'm stressed out about it. I can't control it, But by the end of the semester, the same problems are framed in a way that is more internal. My own anxiety or my own procrastination or my own emotionality is contributing to my inability to solve this problem or is contributing to my ability to solve the problem. Because a lot of them developed skills over the semester that weren't necessarily causally related, I guess, to the class, but maybe to their maturation and development in the first semester of college. So the class enabled them to articulate those processes. So we also work on fluidity and generative writing. So they keep a journal and write almost every class. And we focus on thinking through writing. So the ever-moving pen and being able to move between whatever they bring in and whatever is occupying their minds to something more focused on the class. Openness to divergent experiences, which is within creativity research, one of the characteristics of creativity, and then an application of mindfulness to communication. I asked them at the end of the semester whether they thought that mindfulness had any relation to communication, to see what they would say. And most of them said yes, because I think before I speak, or I'm more aware of my own anxiety or emotions. I'm more aware of the other person and what he or she needs me to say. So, okay. So I took these from student responses so that you could see different outcomes, I guess. So these are from students' journals and summative assessments. A problem that affects me is that I worry about things I don't need to worry about. I'm trying to fix this by making a conscious effort to relax and focus on positive things, not to take a rushed approach to learning. For the first time in my education, I really mean what I write. It's kind of nice not having my phone. Phone anxiety was a huge topic, and I would have them put their phones away, and a lot of them talked about how nice that was. Okay, the next one. When meditating, my body really relaxes, which makes my writing calm and slow. I took this directly from her, so there's a little air. I usually write so fast that my hand begins to hurt because writing fast also makes me bear down harder. Writing soft and gentle is way more soothing. About a quarter through the semester, I started actually meditating. Several of them said this in the conferences at the end of the semester. I had to sit there anyway, and I figured I might as well try it. I got tired of just sitting there, you know, and all it is, all the instruction is to pay attention to the breath, sensations of breathing, and any sensations on the body. That's it. You know, so this person started doing that. I taught myself that I really enjoyed meditation and to try everything wholeheartedly. Now, this I thought was kind of interesting because I didn't mention anything about trying to live your life wholeheartedly. But he said in his writing and then in conference that was what, you know, I'm there anyway. I might as well try it. And that made him feel like, you know, I should try everything that way. Okay, go ahead. So my assessment tools for this particular experiential learning class are the journal, wandering writings, which they start in class. They write about a problem that affects them. They write in class. They go for a walk. Then they sit down and write again about whatever's on their mind. And then they go back to the problem. And then they talk about more questions that they have and anyone they would want to talk to about the problem and what they would ask. And that's sort of a framework that they use in order to go into an inquiry-based project and a little bit of research. And then holding the space. This is also what is a challenge for me. So I have 22 first-year students with different energies, experiences. Being able to hold the space is something that is difficult for me. Using the right words, using readings that help them understand what they're doing. But in the end, people said this was so much more than just a writing class, and I got the highest student evaluations I've ever gotten. So I figure, as I continue to work on this, that is something, Okay, so what I'm trying to do now is find complementary experiences to the sitting meditation to engage students and expand the creative potential. So I went to the labyrinth training. That was great. So I can bring the labyrinth to my classroom and do that, which is essentially kind of walking meditation with a conceptual metaphor of moving into a labyrinth and then moving back out and have them reflect on that experience. We also watched a documentary on meditation, the specific way I teach it, meditation in an Alabama prison. And that had a huge effect on students. They talked about seeing the process and how that made them understand that it actually works, and how surprised they were that the inmates stayed with the process for 10 days, and then how they could see the changes in the way that the inmates held themselves, their facial expressions, and the way they described their own experience, the crime, taking responsibility of the crimes, you know, all different aspects. So they said I should show a documentary earlier in the semester. So I found 3 more documentaries that I could use in class. One about meditation in schools, one about PTSD, and one that's just more broadly about the experience of meditation. I'm still working on holding the space, the different energies, agendas, phone habits, but this semester, most of the students coming in already know that this is an experimental, experiential class, and a lot of them have signed up wanting to be in the class. So that's helpful. I haven't had the same kind of questioning looks at the beginning. I also said, which I am hesitant to do because people are so focused on their phones, I said at the very beginning of the class, I want you to silence your phone, including the vibratory notifications right when you walk in. I don't want to hear anything. And if you finish a quiz or you finish an activity, I don't want you to pull out your phone. And I'm holding that space for you because I've heard from students that it's helpful. So I was very firm about that in the beginning of the class. This is something that I understood more after the Labyrinth training. But when people are dealing with their own stress and anxiety, it makes me extremely tired. And the people in the Labyrinth training talked about finding ways of being able to release that toxicity after class. So I teach 4 classes back to back, and by the end, I feel like I've been put through the ringer. So that's something that I'm trying to find my own kind of rhythms and methods for. And then the last one is that some students conceptually understand the value of meditation and mindfulness. They read the book, they understand the neuroscience, the psychology, they understand conceptually, but not experientially. And some students go in and they're like, they understand experientially, they're relaxed, but the whole ability to articulate why and to apply it to different contexts is less there. So I'm trying to talk with them overtly about this, that you may have an experiential understanding and you may have a conceptual understanding, and we need to have them work together through the writing and the research. And lastly, this is just something that came up in my consultation. As I was talking about my idea for the class, we talked about how mindfulness is a primary form of experiential learning and really could be used within any experiential learning class. That's it. Any questions?
I have a quick question about the journaling.
Yeah.
I did journaling last semester and really liked it. I'm just curious, physically, how do you have the journal? Do they journal at the same place? Do you collect it? Do you read it?
Yes. So they journal throughout the semester. In this class, they mostly journal in a notebook. But in other classes, sometimes I let them use a device. And then they hand it in at a specific point toward the end of the semester. And then I have a conference, and I give it back to them. So I read it, and then I talk to them about their experiences and things that they've written, and anything they want to talk about, and then I give it back to them. But I also say that I want them to use the journal to think through writing and work toward their more formal projects. So it's informal, and I don't assess, grammar usage mechanics, all that. But I assess whether they've used it as a tool to develop their thinking